I want to talk about investments. By the way, happy Wednesday, everybody. Oh shit, it's Thursday. And by the way, when you see this, it's probably not going to be Wednesday or Thursday, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. But before we dive in, as always, my name is Mike Poglese. I'm the co-founder of Automated Coaching Engine, where we partner with transformational coaches and help them scale, help them stack more cash without sacrificing more of their time. So to dive into it, just like I said, in this video, I want to talk about investments. To jump into everything, what it really comes down to is simple life lessons that I had myself. When I first got into entrepreneurship, into business, I had a rough start, not gonna lie. I didn't make fucking any money, typical route as far as like MLM. Didn't make like fucking any money at all. Then there was like this turning point that pretty much like in my eyes happened like overnight. In reality, it took me a couple years to get to this point, probably 2 or 3 years, but I had a turning point where I started to make some serious cash really fucking quick, really fucking easy. And so with that said, I fell into this category of wanting to look rich rather than actually being rich. And so hear me out for a second. So what I mean by this is specifically, I started to make some good money, obviously way more than I needed to be a 21-year-old college student. That was just, the only thing that I really cared about was like partying with my friends and shit like that, Obviously I wanted to make the money, so I could go out and have fun with my friends, but other than that, I didn't really have any other goals or desires with that money. Like I said, I wanted to make it so I could go out and have fun, so I could buy nice watches, things like that, buy the chains and dumb shit that really doesn't do anything for you other than make you look rich, but does it actually mean that you're rich? And so it brought me into this situation where I started to think about life and the fact that, of course, I want to look like I'm successful, because I was chasing girls and chasing that like persona, that image of a successful person that's still a student in college, So I was spending like crazy amounts of money out at the bar with my friends. Any type of extra cash I had would go to like another watch or, some like new outfit or, something like that. And so tying it back into looking rich rather than being rich, now something started to happen that I wasn't really anticipating. When you think about like the journey to success, you think it's just like a straight up, just bullish movement straight to the moon. And what happened is I was making really, really good money, and then all of a sudden it took a shit. And the opportunity that I had that I was making good money with, the bottom fell out, like there was just no more, it just stopped. And so I found myself in a time where I became super depressed. I became super emotional about the circumstances that I was in, why me, why is this happening, etc., etc. So the big takeaways that I took from this was, I was fully focused on looking rich, and so I wasn't prepping myself for, the negatives, the downfalls of the reality of fucking business. Now, obviously, like we don't want things like this to happen. We don't want business to go down, but the reality is it's always going to be a roller coaster. It's going to go up, you're going to have a bad month, go back up and be the previous month, go down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So the challenge is, the key is here is to have, assets, to have money, to have cash flow in other areas that's going to pick you up when your business is having that downfall, when your main source of income is having that little bearish movement. And so that's exactly where I fucked up. I was spending all this money on other shit that was just liabilities. They weren't assets. It was all things that were depreciating based on my wear and tear on the watches, the cars, the chains, all this shit. There was nothing that I was getting from it other than somebody else's viewpoint on my life. Sure, it might have like motivated me a little bit or whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, it was really for the persona, the perception of what my life was, even though it really wasn't that. Like I said, looking rich rather than being rich. So now, I've basically made it, through that time period, didn't invest anything, lost it all, and found myself, like I said, very fucking depressed, very emotional about where I was in life. And then I got myself back together and I started making it again. So the difference was with round 2, I didn't fucking change anything about my life. I didn't chase a new car. I didn't chase a new house. I didn't chase fucking watches or chains or any of that shit. As you can see, I'm a very fucking basic person. You know, most people probably look at me and they're like, damn, this guy's like homeless or broke. And matter of fact, I want them to think that. You know, like I don't give a fuck if people think I have money or not. I truly don't give a fuck. If they want to look at my bank account numbers, that's on them. And that's a totally different story. It'll probably surprise a lot of fucking people. But at the end of the day, my mindset about everything shifted because I was scared to go back into that time period where I had that downturn and I wasn't prepared for it. So me personally, I was like, fuck that, no more, never doing that again. I didn't change anything about my life. I didn't raise my monthly expenses based on the money that I was making. Instead, I started to pocket everything. I also wasn't really investing it either because I, had some bad losses and lost a shit ton of money in like dumbass investments, and that was also like scary too. So I just wanted to see this shit in my bank account. That's all I really cared about. And if the proper opportunity came around, I was going to be prepared to unload into it. And the main thing that I was thinking about is if I have a bad 3 to 6 months, it's okay. I got my pockets full. I'm going to be able to get myself through it and it's going to be fine. And so with that said, it goes back into that concept of looking rich versus actually being rich. So do you give a fuck about what people think about you? Me, I don't give a shit. So the looking rich thing completely went out the window. And instead, I started to focus on actually being rich, investing my money into cash flowing assets, stashing money aside for the negative downfalls as far as business, life, the economy, whatever the case might be. And in return, this also removed me from all outcomes from the business. If we took a 30K loss in the business, I didn't give a flying fuck. I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't need a paycheck this pay period. I don't give a fuck. What I am going to do is I'm going to keep my head on straight. I'm not going to let these emotions get to me. And I'm going to keep fucking hustling. I'm going to keep fucking grinding. And we're going to get it back next month. No problem. That's the difference, is when you're in a scarcity mindset, it's hard to keep those emotions outside of things. It's hard to remove yourself from those attachments of those emotions. And so that was the other big thing that I realized going through the downfalls of my next venture, which we just recently had one of those. Like we literally took like a 30 grand loss within one pay period, a 2-week pay period, lost 30K. So if you can imagine the feeling of that, doesn't necessarily feel the fucking best. But at the same time, I didn't give a shit because I knew my pockets were full. I knew I was going to be okay as far as my bills. And in return, that mindset allowed me to continue performing at the highest level because I wasn't attached to closing deals to make my rent. I wasn't attached to making sure that the business was doing what it needed to do to, maintain. So with that said, take this as a lesson for yourself. Are you focused on looking rich, or are you focused on actually being rich? So fuck all the nice cars, fuck the watches. I mean, look at the watch I'm wearing right now. It's like literally, I don't even know what it is. It's like a fucking Casio something. Yeah, it is a Casio something, probably like $50. I don't fucking know. I got no gold chains on. They're all sitting right here behind me. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. What I care about now is fucking my bank account numbers looking fat as fuck and me being able to invest in anything I want to at any moment that the right opportunity comes by. So with that said, or fuck looking rich and actually become rich. Stash that cash, still drive that shitty car, live in the shitty house. Obviously, you need some things to motivate you. So if you want to get a new truck or something to motivate you, whatever, do that. But at the end of the day, maintain a sustainable level of liabilities so that way your cash flowing assets are going to keep you afloat. They're going to keep you above water even through the hardest times. Learn from my lessons. Don't fuck up. Invest your money wisely. Stash some fucking cash for the bad times. Crush this shit. We'll see you on the next video. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Peace.